The man in the woods. There are places in this world that feel older than they should, where the silence isn't peaceful, where the dark doesn't just hide things, it keeps them. I know one of those places. I've been there, and whatever I saw there, I don't think it was meant for me to see. I grew up in Wellsboro, Pennsylvania, a small town wrapped in state game land. Dense woods on every side. Hunting wasn't just a hobby there. It was a ritual. My father brought me into the woods when I was 12. By 23, I was going alone. November 2021, late archery season. A light dusting of snow had settled overnight, thin, clean, undisturbed. The kind of snow that holds secrets. Every footprint, every track, every sign of something moving through. I had permission to hunt a private piece of land, about 70 acres, thick timber, a small clearing, and an old logging trail cutting through the dark like a wound. Somewhere deep inside those woods, there was an abandoned cabin, roof caving in. Nobody used it anymore. Nobody had reason to. I parked near a rusted gate at 5:15 in the morning, pitch black, headlamp on, and the woods were dead quiet. Before I even reached my tree stand, something shifted. That feeling. You know the one, the back of your neck. The stillness in your chest. Someone is watching you. I told myself it was just nerves. Just the dark playing its usual tricks. I climbed 20 feet up into my stand and waited for the sun. I've waited in those woods many times before. I've never felt like prey before. About an hour after sunrise, I saw it, 60 yards out, a tree stand, and I knew with absolute certainty, it had not been there before. I'd hunted this land. I knew every corner of it, but there it was, an old ladder stand, weathered and rusted, like it had been sitting in storage for years, and had simply appeared overnight. I told myself it was fine. Maybe someone else had permission, but then I looked down at the snow, and my blood ran cold. There were no footprints leading to it. None, except one trail, a single line of tracks, coming from deep inside the woods, going straight to the base of that stand. No tracks out, just in around 8 a.m. movement near the stand. My body tensed. I raised my eyes slowly. At first, I thought it was a deer. I was wrong. It was a man, standing behind a tree at the edge of the clearing. No camouflage, no hunter's orange, just a dirty gray hoodie and dark pants. He was completely still, and he was staring directly at me. Then, he raised his arm and waved, not a greeting, not a good morning, fellow hunter, just acknowledgement. I see you. I gave a small wave back. He held my gaze for a moment longer, then stepped slowly behind the tree. I watched and waited. He never came out the other side. I waited 2 more hours before I climbed down. My boots hit the snow. I walked toward that tree. 60 yards of silence. When I reached it, I stopped. The snow around the base of that tree was untouched. No footprints, no disturbance, nothing. Like no one had ever stood there at all. I followed the original trail of tracks to the base of the ladder stand. I looked up. The stand was empty, and the seat had a thin, perfect layer of snow still sitting on it, completely undisturbed, like it had been that way all morning, like no one had ever sat there at all. I left the woods that day and never went back. Still don't have an explanation. I've told myself 100 different stories, tricks of light, exhaustion, paranoia, but none of them account for the snow. None of them explain a trail of footprints going in and nowhere leading out. None of them explain the man in the gray hoodie who stepped behind a tree and simply ceased to exist. Some things in the woods don't want to be understood. They only want to be seen.